Hello, hello. Once again, I am very cold. Hi, Deacon. Thanks for the luck. Definitely need it. Because this is we need to do math today, and that's always fun. I need to get a rough estimate of how many circuits on Nauvis. Once again, you're very warm. I am very jealous. Hello, Turkey Raven. Welcome, welcome. But yeah, today is math kind of day. So we have a science goal for all of our planets, right? Which means we have a rough estimate of how much we need to ship off of that planet. Most planets are not going to be producing all of their rocket parts. For example, this is just going to ship in get one shipment of plastic, and then it's going to ship in all of the processing units I need. So I'm going to plan my base size around being able to launch all these rockets on all of the planets consistently. I think that's a bit excessive, but I don't think it's overdoing it that much if we plan around that, because it's not like we're shipping that many rockets off the planet. So each planet produces about 2 science per second, right? Which is 1 rocket every 8 minutes. It's not about being free, because resources are free everywhere. It's about the time to set it up. Nauvis already has that production, and it can be expanded a lot easier than going to a new planet and setting up there. So it doesn't matter if something's free, because this is Nauvis. Like these are the resources we have here. So if I can set up another blue chip lane in like 5 minutes, then it's better to just set that up here than it is for me to set up production on Volcanus. I think in like a default setting scenario, it might be fine. I don't know. It's tough because like you have to scale up Nauvis so much that by the time you would get to this planet, the amount of chips you can produce here are inconsequential. But we'll see. It is a little bit tough to produce blue chips here. That requires us to get a lot more refineries and a lot more coal. Could be worth it. We'll see how much. We'll see what our estimate today is for how many green chips we need. I don't think it's that good. It's for any percent. Space age any percent. So any map settings, set seed. Although our build isn't that designed around a specific seed. So yeah, we're really doing 1 launch every 8.5 minutes. Really? Is that enough? Okay, yeah, I guess because each science is worth nearly 3 science. Although Volcanus is our last planet. You know what? We'll just say 2 for every planet. So Volcanus needs green chips. Is there a way I can keep track of this? There's no like built-in note tool, is there? Oh wait, there totally is. Watch this. Running some. We need blue chips, Volcanus. We're going to completely ignore plastic because the plastic cost is like 0. So we need blue chips on Volcanus for 2 per second. And then Gleba, we are importing everything but rocket fuel. So BC and LDS, Gleba for 2 per second. Plus the carbon fiber shipment, which I don't think we have to care about, because that and the bioflux are just 1 shipment. So that should be fine. Like 1 shipment total. I think we can just bring in enough for that. Because we can just consider that free rocket, or that first 2 rockets we have to launch with the bioflux and the rocket fuel, or sorry, the carbon fiber, to be considered our like first 8-minute interval. Fulgora's, we need 1 shipment. Yeah, honestly, Fulgora's different because it's only 1.5. We're only aiming for like 1.6 science per second here, because it's a hard planet to expand on. So I am considering redoing this with either nuclear fuel, but that would be a bit tough. I don't think that would be sustainable. I am considering nuclear fuel here, or maybe even just steam engines, because if we can do this planet first and just not research with it, then I think we'd be off to a good start, because we don't want to research with the expensive stuff At least not most of it. Maybe we can get a couple of the techs. What do we need on this planet? I don't think there isn't really a required tech, is there? Is there anything useful? No, it's literally just this. And obviously the end one. So yeah, we can't even research with this early. So the only planet that we can research, the only base that we can research immediately from is Gleba. So if we just start buffering stuff full for Gora, it's not going to delay anything, really. Because then we'll probably get the biolab research by the time we're done with setting up like the biter capture bases, and by the time we're done with Volcanus. So we might do this one first and just redesign it around heat towers. That seems viable. But either way, this one doesn't actually ship in anything. It gets everything locally produced. Someone is running the vacuum right now. I'm assuming it's being picked up. It seems like it's being picked up pretty loudly. Can you hear me over it? I can't tell. It does say it's like 30 decibels below my voice, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Okay. Like sometimes 30 decibels sounds like the exact same because sound is really weird. Okay, cool. Cool. It's hard. It sounds really loud to me, so it's hard to tell. Appreciate the input. Okay, so Fulgora doesn't need anything. So yeah, this is... I think this is a great example of why we don't necessarily need to produce blue circuits on Volcanus, because we need 50 blue chips for Volcanus every 8 minutes, which is like absolutely nothing. Like that is so easy to get there. Like we don't need anything going to there. A kilo also needs stuff, so we'll say a kilo. Worst case scenario needs BC, LDS, and RF for 2 per second towards the end. But we should just have enough buffered by then that I don't have to care about those in the production, but I'm going to include them just in case. But yeah, that's like nothing. So each round trip we need, or if we do an 8-minute round trip, actually we would probably do 2,000 science at a time, because I'm thinking we just have one rocket that just makes a loop between all the planets. I think is totally acceptable. So what is that? 150 BC, 100 LDS, 50 rocket fuel every 8.3 minutes. Actually, I'm going to keep that in seconds because seconds is more useful here. That's every 500 seconds. So this is nothing. Why are rockets so cheap? I mean, I like that they're so cheap, but damn, this is so cheap. So we need 150 blue chips every 50 seconds. That's like one assembling machine, right? Like, no, it's not that low. I think it's 3 assembling machines, though. Roughly 4. How large does Nauvis have to be? Why does this... Am I missing something? Okay, a kilo does require processing units for this, right? It's just for this, which we need like 50 of. Okay, yeah, that's just dirt cheap. Ooh, superconductors. We don't export those. We don't export those from the planet yet. It shouldn't be hard to do, but we don't actually have those exported. Tungsten plates we have exported. Tungsten carbide we have exported. So Fulgora is just missing a superconductor chest, which I don't think is that big of a deal. That should be pretty easy to do. We need a grand total of like 200, 300. It depends how many railguns we have, but I think we can make do with like 4 railguns. Sorry, 2 railguns max. 1 railgun probably is enough though. Which means we need like 50 superconductors. Let's see. Each railgun costs 100 processors, which is 70 superconductors, plus another 50 superconductors. So that's 120 superconductors. I'm sorry. I keep laughing at how cheap everything is. Like, the run is so long when we have to produce so few buildings. We can probably downsize Nauvis a lot then. Yeah, the space section has to be incredibly short. Okay. I mean, it's fine. So yeah, we have our numbers. Equals 1. And then LDS assemblers, yeah, we barely have to add anything to those. Most of our stuff is still going into research. And of course we are launching stuff off of Nauvis, so that is another number we have to consider. Because it's not just producing stuff to send stuff to other planets. So this is ignoring the fact that all of these costs are doubled if we are shipping them off. So that's times 2. Actually, it's not doubled. This gets another... This is half a launch. LDS is half a launch. Plastic is 1 launch. Rocket fuel is half a launch. So I'd say that's like 1 extra launch. Two extra launches total. So increase this cost by 2. Add 100 to each of these. Yeah, they definitely wanted it to be simple. Like, there's a reason they made it and not just Space Exploration 2.0. It's a very good choice. It's just, when you look at it like post feeding it once, it just, everything is so straightforward and simple to get like 2 science per second. And it just felt like things were much more complicated, but nah. But I do want to redo this. I don't love the steel lane. I think this is a bad spot for it, because I don't want this section to be tile perfect. So I think we get rid of this completely. We'll save this just in case. We'll just do a new version. But yeah, I don't want that to be tile perfect. Not for this run. So we're gonna keep it simple, which we're very good at doing. There we go. You know, it's to integrate required elements to engine for Big E to have it easy with SE. What is Big E? I have no idea what Big E means. This is too many. Ah. Is that like a common name for them? That seems like not a term that's used, but I don't know for sure. What if we move our on patch build? We could do steel. Oh, I could do steel here. It's a bit annoying to get out of here, but I could do steel on patch here, and that would probably be fine. So that would look like this. And then I think we have a 3 gap in the middle. Oh, sorry, 2 gap in the middle. Does this look right? Yeah, this looks right. Okay. Okay, this seems more reasonable to me for like our time goal, because now this can go anywhere. This can go basically anywhere. We just have to maybe shift the miners over like 1 tile if we place it in the wrong spot. But yeah, not having to do tile perfect design seems very nice here. So this is just a normal steel lane. Which tessellates every 6? Yeah, that should be every 6. I wonder if there's a more efficient way to do steel lanes now. Probably, right? I haven't really learned Blippi, though, so I guess that would be the more efficient one, and I don't know it well enough. Why is that a height of 9? Oh, it's a height of 12. I'm just reading the wrong number. Never mind. Okay, so this gives me 24. This is exactly half of a lane. And then we can upgrade it if we leave gaps. Every like 8 or so. Because now I can also add stuff to the outer side, which would be very nice. Okay. We can live with this, and if this is 24, this should have about 15. This should have about 15. We probably need to move it up one. Move this down one as well. And now it has a steel furnace expansion on top of that, which we would probably wrap around this way. And then this way. Because we need it to start saturating the top. Or we extend this one and have it go down. But that can't extend much farther. This one gives us a lot more. Not really with Blippi. Only way to make it easier is when you have a blueprint to flip inserters into correct position. Yeah, but it's really easy to get a tessellating blueprint. So like you could use Blippi here. And then just tessellate this after. So like it's not impossible for there to be ways. Don't know if it's worth it, but it's not. Like I think there's ways to make it work, but I need to understand Blippi better to actually do that. This should be fine. Okay, that's good. How do I get coal over here? Probably just from the on-patch build, right? Yeah, that should be fine. And then if this gets upgraded to steel furnaces, we need a total of 30 on each side. Actually, you know, I don't need a total of 30 on each side. I don't want a total of 30. Well, okay. If I don't do a total of 30 on each side, I am accepting that it's probably not going to run full speed immediately, but that's totally fine. This is a weird spot for the steel lane, but we could do steel furnace. I could do steel furnaces here. It's annoying to get the steel and bricks down to the mall, but it's not awful. I could also do steel furnaces here with like an on-patch bricks build. Flippy is lots to learn for maybe a few seconds per line. It's way more than a few seconds per line if you know how to use it. Like the potential save is pretty massive. What is the starter base? It is utilizing any percent, the strength of any percent, by being able to cover up most of the patch and not care about it. Yeah, I think the potential time save for certain categories is pretty high if you have to do a bunch of the same type of lane. But I guess it also depends on when you get bots. And obviously more important for like... definitely more important in terms of, say, 100% or something like that. Yeah, I don't know how to get coal onto this. This one's easy. This one's really easy. It needs a blueprint, yes. But you, like I said, you can make a blueprint. So if you had to make 2 smelting lanes, Blippi could be worth it easily, because it does not take long to get insert or rotation blueprints. And the potential time save is very high. If you do power pulls inserters all in one pass, that's pretty big. So it could easily be worth having to make a blueprint on at the same time. But I think you have to be very practiced at it. And who knows, it might not be great, but I think it has a lot of potential. If I do this, that works, right? We just have to make sure coal is on this side of the belt. Yeah, okay, that's not terrible. So this has a lot of flexibility for where it can go. It does not technically work full speed until I get mining productivity, but it's pretty close. On belts earlier, one belt earlier, and you don't need to care about the coal side. Yeah, that's true. I could just sideload it. Good point. It's not like that saves any belt or anything. I was thinking somehow it would save belt by doing it that way, but it literally saves nothing. The only advantage is it's marginally easier to build, but makes it that coal side matters, which makes it less marginally easier to build. So yeah, fair point. I mean, this is technically a future expansion, but 5 belt is not going to make a difference. There we go. Now, the annoying thing is fluid... Ooh, actually, I could do oil on this side. Let's see. What do we have over here? What do we have to work with? We have plastic. Or we have oil for... we have coal. We have bricks. We have copper. We have iron. Is this an entire lane of iron? Yes. It's an annoying lane of iron to get, but we could get an entire lane of iron out of this if we needed. And then these combine probably, since it is a double lane, what's the best way? Is it just a splitter? I feel like with a design like this, splitters are just the way to go, right? Like, it's simple enough to just filter them out like so. I'm in map view. There we go. Wondering why things went place. Okay, this is taking forever to start. We need more coal. We definitely need more coal than this if we don't want to hand feed. There is a possibility where I could just put a splitter here and get coal from this. 2 undergrounds looking at each other is mechanically annoying to build. So I don't know if that's necessarily faster than a splitter. I'd say they're pretty comparable speed. If anything, this might be fast. Unless there's like some way you can smart belt it. If there's a way you can smart belt it the correct way, then it has merit. But I think without smart belting, rotations of undergrounds are bad. They're very, very slow. Or generally very slow. Maybe if they fixed underground mechanics. Okay, so this is a steel lane. We have... Where do I want bricks? Probably here, right? Wait, how much of a steel lane is this? 48. Gosh, this takes forever to start. Oh, okay, I see. If we put like a splitter, it might be better. Play 1.1 undergrounds work there. True, then I would be able to consistently place undergrounds. But I do like this part. Okay, I think this is a good spot for a steel lane. Because hear me out. We just send this through. That's not on the wrong side. That needs to be side loaded like this. And then we just output bricks directly onto this. And it's not tile perfect or anything, so that helps. 12 bricks. That's a full lane, right? Yeah, I might not actually be able to run this without weird supplements, but I think conceptually this is a fine way to do it. That is mixed mining. But again, it doesn't have to be tile perfect. Actually, is it easier if we go this way? No, because then we can't get coal. Well, okay, we can get coal, but it's annoying. Huh. We might not be able to do this with steel furnaces. That technically works. And I could do this. Actually, that can go that way. That way it's cleaner to do. It's not awful. One advantage of having it wrap around like this is now I can do this lane. So this is 13, this is 12. That's not even close, is it? No, it's not even close. Is this what I would need? No. I can't run these with steel furnaces. I don't need to run them with steel furnaces, though, so I guess it doesn't matter, does it? I don't think it matters. But I do like how that just kind of continues through to the brick lane. If I move this a little bit, this can just be a straight line. Then I have more stone to work with, but this should be fine. So this runs at a rate, that one wants to consume 15 stone per second. This wants to produce 10. Yeah, there's no way you can make this work with steel furnaces. However, we don't need it to work with steel furnaces, because 16 brick lanes is actually quite a lot. So it's totally fine. Because it only really needs to get us steel furnaces and such. I like how these are the only power poles I've placed in my whole build so far. Okay, so now, if we feed these stone... Now if we feed them more stone so they actually get the recipe, then I can check rate calculator again. That is 10 stone, which we can reasonably get from this. Perfect. Then we could always upgrade a couple of them later if we need some more, but realistically we don't need to. Okay, this one's annoying me. I'm just going to delete this guy. There you go. You're wondering how everything just works? Yeah, they added this nice little feature. If you go to surfaces, global electric network makes it so much nicer to plan designs, because realistically speaking, unless you're using power poles as a placement indicator or something like that, this doesn't work. Why does that output on that side of the belt? Whatever. Oh wait, I can just do that, right? Yeah. It doesn't actually matter where it goes. No, it does matter. Okay, it just needs to be side-loaded. Yeah, that's fine. It's not like we're doing anything with the coal later. Yeah, this lane takes so long to start, but I guess it's fine. We can technically hand feed. But I think part of the issue is that it wants to fill this whole thing before these start running. The only way to fix that is to either overdo coal a lot or add like some kind of logic on these, which could work, but isn't necessary. Yeah, this should start working a little bit better. I really do like this, because then steel furnaces can go right here. Very, very cleanly. And then we can carry this through to the brick lane as well. And also the malt. We need to figure out how to make... We need to automate refineries and chemical plants, which we don't normally have to do. But, well... refineries might not need to be automated, but they probably could be. I think that's the easier way to do it. Chemical plants, I think, should be automated because we need to import a lot of them. Actually, should we? You think that logic should be blocked before researching it anyway? What do you mean? Logic isn't blocked. Like circuit logic? There's no circuit logic research anymore, I don't think. Well, there is, but it only unlocks the combinators. They changed it so it kind of works like blueprints and stuff, where as soon as you unlock it once, it unlocks it for every save. Which is how they handle blueprints and copy and paste tools. You just have to unlock bots once and then you're good. Okay, we don't need to worry about making science expandable, so that's nice. I don't know where I want to do science, but... Well, let's see. I have to decide if I want to use this side or this side for blue science. This side's closer to the action, but it does cover this patch. However, I don't know if I need that patch. So basically my choices are I build in this foresty area, and then I have access to this copper. or I just get this copper and accept that it's fine. You think unlocked? It should unlock depending on save. You think blueprints? Oh, are you saying you want it to be that way? I think this is I think that decision they made is very good. I think it's silly to have circuit connections be a research. It doesn't really make sense. Honestly, like combinators make sense, but basic like signaling should just be free. I'm very glad they made that choice. Science could be on this side, or it could be on this side. Which one's easiest? Also, I had an idea for how I wanted to do science. We're actually going to do a sushi belt. So that way I don't have to upgrade my labs until... Well, okay. We have two ways we can do it, right? So I need to get red, green, blue, military... Wait, red, green, blue, military, space, and yellow science. We need to get all of those before we have access to biolabs. So we need to have a lab setup that can be adapted to 7 sciences to include biolabs. Or, so that option's easy. 6 sciences, or sorry, 7 sciences is fairly easy, because what we could do is we can make the blue science a loop and make it a sushi belt that also has space science and military science on it. That would be very easy. You missed the craftable blueprints? I do not. Those were awful. Especially the decon planner. I don't think they added anything to the game, but inventory management is always a very important feature for me in games. So when they have something that requires inventory space that doesn't need it, I always think less of a game with that. Because it's just a bit silly, generally. So I'm very happy they fixed it. Or change that feature. Yeah, this should be... Yeah, that works. Okay. We do need a buffer steel. Well, actually, no, we buffer steel up here. It's not very balanced, but I think with stack size upgrades, it's fine. These can almost fill a belt, which is good enough. We don't need like a full half lane of steel. We just need close. But I was thinking for my gleba, or my science setup to biolabs, we could do something like this. Because biolabs are bigger. They're 4x4 or 5x5? They're 5x5. However, if we look at this build, this can be adapted to biolabs very easily. So I'm thinking we set up something like this. Because now this has... red and green, blue and military, space science, and sorry, red and green, blue and military, purple and yellow, space science and bioscience. Which seems like a weird combo, but since we don't have to clear out spoilage, because it's an any % run, it's pretty much impossible to spoil. It's pretty much impossible to spoil science in this run. We don't have to worry about clearing it. So that means we can just have this be a straight non-looping science belt without any spoilage clearing. And then Fulgora science and Volcanus science go here, and then Aquilo science goes here. So that would give us 9 sciences plus 2, which is the 11 we need. Of the 12, because Prometheum is optional. So yeah, if we do an adaptation like this, I think we're off to a good start. Then we need to figure out a good beacon layout too. Actually, wait a minute. Can we just do that? I feel like 4 beacons is a good amount to aim for before it becomes too diminishing. 35% each. So 8 going at 35% speed. What's the difference? Let's see. You don't even need to remove spoilage. It never blocks science. Oh, does it go to a different slot? Does it just go to like... Oh, it probably goes to the output inventory. Or wait, no, that shows research. But yeah, if that's the case, we never really need to remove spoilage then. Because if we ever spoiled science, it would be like 2 or 3. It wouldn't be 200 per lab, because that would greatly increase our costs. It goes to output, right, output inventory. I just don't know where that is in the labs. So I couldn't picture it. So this does have the advantage of being able to get a lot of beacons early on. Because that boosts it to 8.5, which compared to our regular labs is... Well, actually, let's put prod mods in it first. 7.8. 6.9. Okay, so that's pretty good. So I think we could switch to this setup before we get to space science, and then we don't need to worry about converting our old one. Because I think I'm pretty happy with this. With this layout. And then we need 6... I think we decided we needed 16 biolabs. Is there a better layout for these? Yes, I think that is a slightly better layout to maximize our original labs. You found it in your first run since you didn't care about science. Fair. Okay, I don't think we can get it to tessellate perfectly, though. We can get it close, but I think occasionally one of the labs is not going to get as big of a boost. Yeah, that should be fine, right? Like, this guy being a little bit slower isn't the end of the world. So I think we just make something that we can tessellate. In which case, I want to be even lazier and see if we just fit the ones that fit within the tessellating blueprint. Never mind, that doesn't tessellate well at all. That only gets 2. You know, 2 isn't that much worse. Is that just me being lazy, though? I think so. But it really is only a little bit slower. Oh, this isn't early on. No, this is at like the 4-hour mark. Well, maybe not that late. This is like at the 3 or 4 hour mark. This is after we have purple and green science already built and have like 4 processing units per second. Because this is the expansion once we need to start researching like thrusters and junk. And I've expanded Nauvis as much as we needed to. This is basically just our first iteration to get us 2 biolabs, and then we swap it with biolabs later. Which, assuming the spacing is right, should work good. Yeah, okay, cool. But yeah, it is a lot of red underground, but we don't need it that early, so it should be fine. It's what, 10 per lab, so that is a total of 160 red belt for all of our labs. I want to say we decided on 16. Yeah, that shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, let's see what it looks like with this. Wait, maybe if I tessellate it here, they get a little bit more doubled up, right? Okay, so this tessellation is pretty reasonable. Or is it? I guess, wait, no, what we really want is this. There we go. No, that's what we want. So this would go here, 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 and here. So now, once they get upgraded biolabs, they're affected by all the beacons. Because this would be affected by this. There we go. That's the pattern we need. Somehow you're doing everything to not make... But not making your setup for your final base layout on SE? What? Wait, what? No, I didn't. I misread that. Somehow you're doing everything to not making setup for your final base layout in SE. Oh, are you just like procrastinating? I like this. No, I like this setup a lot. How many beacon? What was the value I got for like max beacons? I think it was 8 on each side, right? Which gave me 7.8. So this does research 15% slower, but it is so much easier to build. Okay, and then this goes up to 8. Now the real question is how do I fold this? Maybe like this? Now this doesn't have any looping to it, but I could add looping. So that doubles up the beacons in the middle. Yeah, okay, I like this. And then if I really wanted to, I can expand it again. But realistically, I don't need to. So then I just do a couple quick connections around the edge. Yeah, okay, I like this. Effective research speed is pretty high. The ones on the edges don't get quite as much, but I think we're good enough. And we can always expand it. So that's our lab build. Very easy to build, very quick to set up. Perfect. Okay, we need to figure out how we're going to get biter eggs, because I'm going to be honest, they're far away. They're really far away. I don't know exactly how I'm going to do that. Yeah, we'll need to figure something out. Okay, but we have our lab upgrade, and then starting labs can just kind of look how they used to, so we'll just put those here. I still haven't decided, how much does copper matter? Realistically speaking, do I care about this? I feel like the answer is no. That's just the vibe I'm getting. How many drills is this? How many clean drills is this? Okay, so this is 4 lanes of copper that I would be covering out of laziness. Will you have nuclear? You know, I haven't really thought about power yet. I don't think I care about nuclear. We'll see. I need to figure out. It depends on what the size of Nauvis is. I will have centrifuges up. I won't necessarily have nuclear power. Yes, the rules do allow for peaceful mode. However, because I want to get the achievement, I can't play with peaceful mode. So the biter egg problem is only for me right now. Yeah, I could get a tank. Tanks are pretty cheap. I just need to remember to shoot the capture bot rocket. Now, if I make the starting area like 300 or 400%, it puts them here, and I think they tend to be smaller bases, so that would also help. Because, like, this far out, they're pretty large, but I think if they were, like, right here, they wouldn't be as large. So I think really what it all boils down to is I figure out how much resources I need in this. Somehow you have a feeling that cutting nuclear power is the wrong kind of shortcut for any essay. Maybe, but how much power do we really need? Like, nuclear power it's good. But steam engines are also perfectly fine, unless I'm making a really, really big base, and I don't know how big of a base I'm making. Like, if the base is under a gigawatt, I don't think I need nuclear. Well, okay, we will need nuclear by the end. I'm talking about nuclear power for Nauvis. We'll have nuclear power for the final ship. We'll have nuclear power to power a kilo as well. Exact. Yeah, it's overkill because you can do solid fuel, which is free. Nuclear on Gleba is 10 times easier. There's absolutely no reason to do nuclear on Gleba. There is no reason to do nuclear power on Gleba. Like, this is so easy to run. You need almost no power on Gleba if you're not producing resources on Gleba. We consume like 100 kilowatts. We consume like 300 kilowatts. We don't need nuclear here. One heating tower burning extra rocket fuel is more than enough. And this doesn't cost much power to run either. You can only produce... Well, it's not... So it's not about being able to produce it on Nauvis, right? It's about the latency of getting it up and running. If I don't care about the solid... If I don't care about the power efficiency of it, I have steam engines automated. I have boilers automated by this point. I have pipes and stuff automated. I have all the power I need by the time... I should have all the power I need by the time I get the automation set up to also make nuclear reactors. So giving me an extra hour to actually produce nuclear reactors and heat exchangers later and not having to worry about using them on Nauvis is a very viable strategy. Because the upfront cost of nuclear is pretty expensive. And I would much rather just hoard the heat pipes for later, I think. Would be very viable. So it really just depends how much power my final base needs. Because there's a very good chance I can just paste a couple steam engines with like direct fed solid fuel and we're good. So it really just depends on that final blueprint. I do like how close nuclear uranium is though. Yeah, it's not like I'm not completely writing it off. We'll see how many power plants I need when I get the base built, and that will probably be how I make the decision. Honestly, we could just run stuff with coal too. I forget how much coal power is viable in like any percent settings. I really feel like I should use this for blue science. I don't think I can use this copper patch. I mean, I can use this copper patch. I don't think it's worth using this copper patch is a better way to phrase it. Ooh, you had to crash the desktop? Oof. Was it modded or was it just a Factorio issue? Where else do I need copper? Not even an error message. Oof. Oh yeah, because it hard crashed the desktop, right? Modded. Okay, so at least like it might not be Factorio that's unstable. That doesn't make it better though. Hello, Date. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, I don't see a world where complicating this part of my base and having to clear so many trees early is gonna be worth 4 lanes of copper when I can zoom out and get like 30 lanes of copper within 100 tiles of my base later with bots. Yeah, let's cut those corners when we have bots, not before then. Okay, now if I want to get enough steam engine production, I might need more iron. So we have a couple options here. I think we can get a lot of iron out of it if we build it like this. Not like that, sorry. There we go, that's more accurate. That is 19, and then we could have this other side as well. Yeah, we have a lot of we have access to a lot of iron here, which we could use to produce steam engines. Found the best bug for speedrunners while playing SE, instant construction by bots. That does sound very nice. What makes it... I thought they fixed all of the bugs with bots being too broken. Well, I guess not all of them. Hello, Pandabo. Welcome, welcome. How would I do this? These would obviously be steel furnaces. Okay, yeah, this would work. This has enough flexibility to it that it doesn't have to be tile perfect, which is what I'm going for. Oh, right. Yeah, I don't know why I assumed it wasn't, it would still be applicable. So we just need 15 and 15. There we go. Yeah, I don't want to... If anyone's wondering, the reason I'm focusing on trying to not be tile perfect, I don't think a fairly unprepared run is worth doing a ton of memorization. No, this won't be any kind of grind. I just wanted to do it casually. I'll never be competitive again. Like that, it's not something that can improve. So I'm not holding up hope for that part. But I'm trying to figure out more stuff I can do just because it is fun. You're streaming again. Please stop tempting you to play Factorio before you finish reading this book. Well, just watch me play Factorio instead, and then when you finish this book, then you can play Factorio. It's a perfect plan. We don't have a good spot for coal over here, unfortunately. Okay, well that changes things. That makes this side... Wow, that's so far, though. Routing a coal belt is so much easier than this. Is it? Maybe it's not. We kind of made the mistake of starting our on-patch build just in the middle of everything. Is there a reason for having 2 empty belts for merging now onto the copper lane? Just space purposes. Although they should go into a splitter. Though, so I can copy this blueprint. Or are you talking about this? Yeah, there's just not enough space here to get like 1 lane of 30. So they just are 2 belts. So this is... I just looked through Ardo's like filtered list of seeds and was like, I kind of like this one. So I went with it. I didn't want to... I didn't want to use the Nephrim seed. I feel like it's just been used for so long. Even though this is obviously a worse seed, I just figured might as well use it. We don't have a crazy challenge today. We are working on a speedrun design. I want to get the sub 40 hour achievement, but I want to do it not in 40 hours. So we're doing a rough speedrun design. I don't know what the time goal is yet, but that's what we're working on today. We do challenges mostly on Monday. I'll probably do one on Tuesday as well this year, on Christmas Eve, because I do have another one I want to do. So we have one that we're finishing up on Monday, where everything takes damage over time and spoils, and then I have another one I want to do later. So most of the... all of the seeds, Nauvis is practically identical, aside from maybe some rock and tree locations, as long as you select the correct elevation. I think it's only the rocks that moved around, and if the rocks move around, trees probably move too, because trees move with everything. But the patches themselves are the same. You only need 1 belt to avoid the bending, but you place 2. You're wondering if that was intentional or just an oversight. Oh, I built it too high and I shifted it down with just a cut and paste, and I forgot that belt. Gleba start does exist. I don't think... I might do a Gleba start, because there is a mod that just starts you on any planet you choose. If I did that, it wouldn't be beating the game. It would probably just be me leaving each planet separately. But I don't think going past leaving the planet would be that important. But I think it would be nice to just see what it's like to start on all the planets. But that isn't that much different than how we played normally. So I don't know how high that is on the list, but it is something I could do. Because I do want to try like full Gleba start, including like green science research too. What could be fun. Yeah, how do I get coal over here? There's not really a good way to get coal over here, to be honest. I think we just have to accept that coal is going to be this... gotta cut through here, and that's fine. Randomizer? As far as I know, there aren't any randomizers yet for 2.0. I do have a couple random stuff planned, but not random tech. But I will do a randomizer at some point. but I don't want to do it in 1.1 because I've already done one before. So I'm waiting. There's anything with the mod, there's a good chance we have to wait for it to release. It's just how to scale early sciences, pretty much. Which is why I don't think doing just one would be fun, but I think doing all of them combined would be interesting. Okay, that part's reasonable. However, I did say I want to automate chem plants and refineries. I doubt it. It depends how you design the builds, but like Blippi's benefit is very small. And only really useful if you're doing like a bunch of the same lane that you can paste once. So I don't think there's any spots where it's really that beneficial. That was a fun one. Glad you enjoyed it. I didn't. No, it was fun. Very, very messy and chaotic, but I did enjoy it. Yeah, I think we just automate refineries for later. We can probably get enough out of this. Oh, those don't have pipe. We haven't done pipe. Whoops. Your internet is floating on you? Is it you or me? Sometimes it's me. Usually it's me. That is not true anymore because the inserter is working too, or are you overestimating your brain, child? You are... I think you're overestimating it. Because Blippi's only useful for this kind of smelting lane, which you don't build very often. Outside of, like, default settings. If my whole build was designed around this, then... Basically, I think it's only worth it if you don't do an on-patch build, and I don't know if its benefit is strong enough to outweigh on-patch build. Is how I see it. Because its biggest benefit is you being able to make a bunch of the same smelting lane really fast, which we have this, and maybe steel lane. It can maybe be useful for steel, for a little bit more consistency in placing the inserters. But for that, it's more of a not a time save and more of just a quality of life. Yeah, the fact that you can't use it with on-patch build in any meaningful way is kind of rough. It can also be used for everything else. I saw Glassbrick's example. It didn't look better for anything. Like, it was cool. It seemed just objectively slower and more mechanically complicated than just building it normally. Like, his mouse had to be faster. He had to be more accurate in the final point, less accurate in the middle point. So, like, while it was cool, it's trading one mechanically difficult thing for another, and it's not faster. I think it would be easier to just learn how to build both ways. Like, if you could just do this, it's... Instead of, like, going really fast vertically, like, I think those would have the same speed. And going both directions in a seesaw motion seems easier. But that's true. It is hilarious and cool. That is a benefit. we could do it just for that purpose. We would have to rebind literally everything. But that is a nice benefit. Yeah, I think we just have to have coal go like this, and that's fine. And then we can do power here. Yeah, okay. That's not awful. You very good point. It does... That is a very valid argument. It's cool. It's hard to pass up. Maybe we can learn it after. I really need to fill up my hotbar. Don't know why I've been putting it off. That's the wrong way. That was weird. I could not figure out where that copper was coming from. Okay, power plant there. Yeah, I guess if we're bringing coal along, we might as well do that. Yeah, okay, that's fine. On-patch power, how far can we extend it? Is it fast? No, it's cool. The best kind of strategies. I mean, it is, like I said, it is fast. And it might be mechanically easier for doing some things faster. But it didn't look mechanically easier to me based on the screenshots. Because he was moving his mouse about as fast as you would need to do it without Blippi. At least for steam engines. For inserters, for inserters though, it seemed really nice. And power poles. Can you do Blippi all the way? I don't even know if the reach works there. I guess you wouldn't necessarily want, yeah, you would want to. A week. A week max. Before the first run. Standing in the middle. Okay. It looked like it was barely in reach, but I wasn't sure. So that's why it's more like, a lot of this is very kind of more generally designed. Like why there's huge gaps here and huge gaps here. I don't want it to be tile perfect. I want it to be something I can just look at a screenshot for it and be like, okay, we're building this now. And we need steam engines, and we need gears. Can we get enough here? I guess it depends what this iron goes to. We can probably get enough. But we can definitely get coal. That's easy. I don't know where we want to go. It depends if we do a power plant expansion or if we just do power here. We'll probably do. I might have to do an on-patch power here. This coal lane is a little bit... Actually, wait, we can do... This wouldn't be worth it. I could do like a half lane, but it's not really worth it. It might be better for me to use this coal patch here. So that way I can do a power expansion here. What, am I map view or something? Oh, I am. How much does this get me access to? That's probably enough. Yeah, that's enough for plastic and copper at least. So that could work. I don't know how much power that is. Doesn't really say. Let's see, you hate it any percent as at some point it got to the point where you just need to remember whole base tile perfect and it just went who gonna build it faster? I mean, that's just speed running in general, right? Like that doesn't sound any different to me than just any description of speed running. So yeah, not sure what's different there. Okay, and then we need green chips, which easy enough to do. Why does it drop stuff on the ground? That's weird. Uh, 6 and 4. That's normal now, right? I like how I'm just covering up this copper patch. I just decided screw it. Oh, you're right. I can use the same for both sides. Thank you. Wasn't even thinking that. Okay, and then... Yeah, and since the coal's coming from this way anyway, it's not like it makes it block anything. Perfect. Wait, why does this feel like so many? I don't know why. That feels like more than 6. Which way should it go? Probably this way if copper's there. Yeah. We don't need to worry about a mix builds. That's nice. Yeah, okay, so yeah, that just goes straight there. Do some biter battles it morphs to all bases looking the same? That's... I think it's just because there are strategies that just are consistent and work for most people. So everything just eventually ends up using those. So it's not surprising. Should I build these out of red? Blue? Technically, it's more efficient to build them out of blue. I don't think it matters, but technically, it would be ideal. Okay, this probably needs like a splitter. Ooh, that's annoying. That goes on the wrong side of the belt. It's fine. It's not a huge deal. I can sideload this. Yeah, it's easy enough to sideload. I don't need to worry about it. Okay, so that's fine. How do I want to do plastic? Because if we're not doing like a mixed build, we could plan for a plastic that we can send to something else later. Or we could just keep it minimal and just do 3. Probably doesn't make a huge difference. Which side does this prioritize? Oh, that sucks. It prioritizes the wrong side. Is there any way for me to change this priority? Or use red inserters for iron plates? Yeah, if I didn't want to shift it. I could just do that. Then I don't have to worry about the side priority, which is nice. That actually is not too bad. Because I want to do more furnaces here. Because, yeah, if we're not copying this for anything later... Well, I guess it depends if we copy this. If I end up copying this for more red chips, I wouldn't want to design it that way. Actually, I could. Yeah, it wouldn't be awful. And then we'll put the prod modules in there so we don't forget. So this is going to take from the... Oh, that does take from the correct side. That's actually very nice. Maybe I move it closer then? Like no gaps at all? So now that it's stealing iron, we can add more production here. Which we should have enough for once we get mining productivity. I think we'll be able to get that. How many drills is that? Oh, yeah, that's more than enough drills. I don't even know if it's sideloading properly. Or if everything's outputting properly. This does not work. That does not work at all. We need to redo that. This is way too many drills. I was not counting when I built that, to be fair. Okay, so we can only do 15. Wait, can this output? Okay, it can. I was not sure. Okay, so we can only do 14 here. So this is a more accurate number. We just need to prio it, and then... Okay, now we should have the throughput. So that gets me 31. This is a little bit more than that. That's a little better. I can also shift it up higher. Oh gosh, this is annoying to place. But I could shift this down, and then it just doesn't extend as far this way, which is nice. This is a little bit... Yeah, this is a little bit annoying to do. But I think if we place the copper lane first and then build everything around that copper lane, I think we're in for a good time. So that would look something like this instead. Which doesn't look any different. I don't know why I said it there like it looks different. It doesn't. It just gives me more flexibility for putting these drills here. So this would be 5, 5, and then 4. There's no reason to go above 14 here. There we go. That gives me a few more drills, so that should be enough. And now that we've replaced the iron that these have drained, hopefully, now we can do gears. And pipes. What is the ratio I need them in? I know it's 1 to 2 generally speaking, but that's assuming they're not going into any steam engines. 3 to 2? Wait, 3 to 2? For what? For pipes? Is that for steam engines? Like, I know that's not the ratio for engines, but it might be the ratio for something else. Should I do the loop? I feel like I should do the loop. The loop's easy. Or the hook, sorry. Yeah, I think that's fine. We could always add... I mean, technically speaking, I could add smelting here and use a red belt. We have options. We'll have a red belt. We can do a future expansion. The rest of the iron really just kind of goes into steam engines, so that should be fine. We just need a prio to go past it, and then the rest goes into the engines. Because we'll need a lot of these for later. Probably. It depends how much nuclear... It depends if we decide to do nuclear power. But I don't think there's anything I would reasonably use this iron for. Like, we could use it for sulfuric acid, but I don't think in batteries. Don't know if we necessarily need to, though. Depends where we end up building them. Because that really just affects how we would design this. Actually, how will I do sulfuric acid? I don't know. I haven't really thought of that. Okay, and then copper's here. Copper should be utilized fully from this. Yeah, copper's utilized fully. Never mind, you don't know what to use the use that ratio for. I think that's the value it used to be for any percent, because it's a good ratio for making steam engines and regular engines. Although I don't think there's any real logic to it. It just is what felt right. Like, it's close to the ideal ratio for engines, but also you can't run these full speeds. The ratio doesn't matter for that. So maybe it just felt somewhat balanced. Anyway, and then we need refineries, which would go here, and then plastic production. Can I sideload this? Probably not. I'll definitely need an underground. I think we just do plastic in the spot we used to. Because I don't think we gain much by trying to build it in a different spot. Like, even if we're not converting to mix, this just design is good. We'll see. We'll see if I like it, though. I might not. Yeah, like, sideloading that is just too easy. Coal comes from here. Oh, I don't like that, actually. I should probably take a tighter loop. Would make a lot more sense. Yeah, I don't love the plastic location. Can I put it on the other side? Is that a dumb idea? I would much rather it be here. I don't know why, but it feels better to be there for me. Which makes me think, can I get coal from here? I think I can get enough coal from here. Depends how I have that filled. Also, how much do these consume? Does rate calculator tell me that? I don't... Oh, it does. Okay, so rate calculator... Oh, we can get more than enough coal from there. Never mind, that's super easy. Okay, so yeah, we can just take this for coal. I like that, I think. Maybe, I don't know. This might get a little bit... That's a little messy. We'll do this in a different way then. We'll do it like this. There we go. That works for me. Probably want a gap here for refineries. For petroleum. But I think that's good. So if we're doing that, oh yeah, we can get plenty of coal here. We can get plenty of coal. We should be fine. But now that means I don't need this at all. Which means refineries can go wherever. Is there a better way to get coal over here? Because basically my options are to take coal from this and send it to this lane, or take coal from up here. I think taking coal from here is a reasonable strategy. Which is originally what we had. It just felt very silly. Gosh darn it. I don't like that. I don't know why they made that change. You can't overwrite undergrounds going in a different direction. Maybe it used to cause a lot of people mistakes, but it's what I do to fix mistakes, so it's very frustrating for no reason. But I like that. No, I like that. It feels easy enough to build and reference with a picture. Nothing's like super tile perfect, or like nothing has weird spacing, right? Everything just goes flush against the other. And for this one, we can literally just take the drills from wherever, and I could just supplement one in the middle if I really wanted to, which I like. Okay, so refineries probably would go here. Ooh, hold up. Do I want to do cursed fluids? I don't want to do cursed fluids, do I? No, not in any percent. Maybe. I don't know. Cursed fluids are funny. And we've already established that's a good reason to do something. We probably will do it for the future expansion of sulfuric, though. It's very tempting. It's super fast. I don't know how to do the... Can you do the cursed inputs? How does that work? Like, I know you can also mix the inputs, but I'm not sure how to do that. But I do like the idea of it. Okay, I'll consider it. Inputs are rough. Okay. See, those are the slow parts. We need to get water down there, which it looks like we can run through here pretty nicely. We have lots of spots we can build it. Outputs are simple. That's okay. Yeah, outputs are really simple. It's the inputs that are the hard part. So if I can't save both of them, I don't know if it's worth it. I don't know. It's not worth it. We'll see. We'll see when we get there. If it feels easier to just build a real advanced oil or not. But so far, I like this. This is, happy with that placement. Happy with how we get water through. This does get more than enough iron, I think. We're not getting enough coal. Oh, it's just still starting. I want to see how far iron goes. We have a little bit of spare iron going through. But not a ton. So if I just sit here and hold F. Yeah. Is that enough? Because that would also be for the sulfuric acid. Wait, I can take from the mall. I can combine the two. That could work. What are we limited by? I could extend this down a tile. Do even more furnaces. Although I don't think that'll help much. I could always expand it later. Although that would be kind of annoying. But I could technically expand it later. Honestly, this feels like enough iron. It probably is. Because we do have this. Which we can definitely use. We completely forgot pipe in the mall. So let's add that real quick. We're gonna extend this down a little bit. We're gonna add a pipe assembler. Because that seems very, very helpful. There we go. Pipe. Input, 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 output. There we go. I don't know how many we need here, like 5. Ooh, is there a balanced way to do this? Probably not. Can I skip over this? This looks that looks incredibly annoying to do. Oh, okay, there we go. Okay, this is a this is a weird way to do this, but I think it's fine. And then drills. And then what else do we need? We don't need pump jacks. Tile gap, maybe? Yeah, and just feed directly through. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. It really doesn't save me much. Because now I can just do this. And that's easier. Yeah, okay. One tile count is definitely nicer than that. And then we have assembly machines at the end. There we go. Okay. Now these can't all run full speed. That much I am very aware of. Ooh, how do I do this? I could output on this side. That's honestly, that's not terrible. It's not fast. It's not that fast, but it's fast enough, I think, that will be okay. And then we'll do a second one of these. Yeah, it should be okay. Because this is mostly just so I can have stuff there. Can you have a pipe assembler above pipe to ground to save underground belt, or does pipe need priority on plates? The priority shouldn't matter much, because I'll probably just end up hand feeding this, and then it'll back up. So priority should be fine. It's more about what just feels easier to build. And they're probably pretty comparable, so yeah, I might as well just save the pipe. But yeah, priority shouldn't matter. Because this I probably won't set this up immediately either, which will also help. This is just so I can do some expansions later without having to think about it, because a lot of this is I don't want to have it perfectly routed, or to have to think too much about how much I have to handcraft for like a refinery or a chemical plant. So I want something to make up for mistakes. We'll probably need more pipe assemblers, but I think this will fine for me. I could do 2 pipe assemblers. But realistically, this won't matter, because I think the goal is to just have like a stack of tin in all of these, so that way I can be like, oh, I need more plastic, I messed up, and be able to fix it. Also, I think I might go steal a blueprint real quick. Where is Sushi? Does Glassbricks have a blueprint that he shared of his sushi fluids? Yes, he does. Let's see if this works. It might have cut it off. Okay, I cut it off. How do we get the whole string with Blueprint Bot? Maybe it's no longer available. The string's cut off. Maybe if I copy text, does that give me the whole thing? Nope. That's just an invite to the server. Oh, you're here. Do you have a blueprint of sushi fluids? So you think you can do the same with... Wait, how would it save another underground? Oh, would it? Can I still get the steel input? I can. Well, it's the input that I'm wondering about. It doesn't technically save an underground belt because I'm just going to do a quick drag, does it? I don't know. It might save one. We'll do it. We'll leave it. It's fine. But you can attempt to describe it. That could work. Wait, does it use combinators? Would be your... Yeah, it is for hand... This is for hand building, because I'm trying to figure out... Is there a way I can adapt this to be advanced oil later, or should I just not care about it, are basically the two options. It's probably not that important, but it is something I was considering. Do we have enough iron? We actually kind of do. Although it could just be because everything's backed up. This seems to run okay. I'll probably need a speed mod here at some point. Ooh, no combinators. Okay. Okay, now we're talking. That makes it much more viable. I know it had something to do with, like, you had a pump here, and then a pump for water. Flip assembler input output. Did I mess it up? Oh, you mean just that way it auto does it? Oh my gosh. Why does everything keep overflowing when I shift click? There we go. In my mind, if I flip them, I didn't have access to steel, but it literally changes nothing. I still have access to... I actually have better access to steel because I'm not grabbing from a corner, which is still a little finicky. Okay, let's get a water pipe built while we're here. Did I call it? I called it a belt. Oh wait, I can just do this. Because apparently you can just do that now. Which is very nice, I think. Okay, I know it has to do with... Let's see. Oh, there we go. 2 input puns, connect 2 refineries, read... 2 refineries, okay. 2 refineries. Read content. No read crafting. Enable if less than 80% of the capacity for the fluid. Okay. The combined fluid. So if there's 2 of them, that would be 400. And if... Okay. I think I get it. You just be enabled if crude oil greater than 360. And then water greater than 360 over 2. That less than. I was like, wait, there we go. That didn't feel right. More advanced, add a backwards filter pump. For both of them? Or for them individually? Yeah, it felt wrong immediately. First, I noticed that one. I'm assuming 1 for each. Also, have you seen the sushi? Have you seen sushi spaceship fluids? It's fantastic. I think I can just add a space platform above Nauvis. It's just so wonderful. It does not work well. It is terrible. It makes my engines more efficient because it's just bad. That backwards pump is only if you're scared. Fair enough. But yeah, it's more efficient because it doesn't fill them that fast. So it just genuinely can't keep them at its full thrust. So it just like accidentally throttles them to like 70-80% efficiency. It is a little bit cleaner if you put them like here, but I wanted to keep the shape of my ship, so I have it on like a weird pipe backwards. But yeah, sushi thruster, it's great. Would not recommend. It's so much worse than just putting a clock on it and actually regulating speed, but it's fun. Okay, that is a lot simpler than I expected, though. Of course, now I have to handle the outputs, but that's, you know, that's fine. Well, I clearly set this up wrong. Huh. This is supposed to be 160. Wait. Yeah, this is supposed to be 160, so that means this is supposed to be 320. Is it a well-known fictional ship? This one? It was supposed to be. I ended up making it a lot longer, so the original design, like, it's still vaguely there, but it's not as close as it was. Let me find a link. Here's a Lego version. It's Anakin. It's based off. If we cut off the top, it looks a lot more like it. Roughly, because then it has the correct like ratio. It's based off of Anakin's interceptor. Because I really like the gap in the center. It makes it so much worse. It's terrible. The gap makes the design awful because it like doubles the travel time for no reason. But it's fun. But it's based on his yellow interceptor. I need a water tile under the pump. Wait, what? You can place them anywhere, but they don't work? What's the point? Why does it give me that power if it doesn't work? I just assumed they did that so that way you can get free water in editor mode. Well, that explains it. Okay, thank you. Yeah, very straightforward. Okay, let's try it filterless. Because honestly, if this is that easy, I see no reason not to do it. Okay, we're gonna be lazy here. I don't think I need this many pumps. But I just want to do a rough test of it. Yeah, I can probably make do with like 2 or 3. And then petroleum. Needs to know what fluid to pump, otherwise it could be heavy. Oh, okay. I kind of forgot that those existed. Oh my god. This is stupid. This is so amazing. This is fantastic. For output 5 pumps each. I don't think with the amount of refiners I have, I need this many. But oh my god, this is so good. And then I think I could actually reach it over here. No, I can't. Whatever, that's fine. It's not that hard to reach it. Just don't ever beacon that build. Yeah, never beacon the build. If I do something, I need to make sure they are all beaconed equally, like with a speed module, because that would work. But I can't make them have separate crafting speeds. Although the reason that my original build wasn't working wasn't so much the speed modules that I added, it was actually broken by the chemical plants that I had cracking, because then it was impossible for them to get the same cycle. I mean, if I do use beacons, it would mess up the amount of... Oh, that's true. It would mess with the internal buffers. It might still... But that's, like, fixable. I can just increase the pumps. Like, it's not too tricky to fix, I think. What did I do? Oh, I didn't have it connected for a while. Okay, so I do need to make sure I clear it whenever I convert it. I don't necessarily have to read from the closest pump, right? Or, like, I don't have to read the closest one. Because something like this would be easier to connect, I think. Bark, bark. Wait, what? They're not even barking, I don't think. That's true. The pumps... If I pushed it too much, the pump speed could be bad. Okay, we definitely are not... Oh, we removed the logic, that's why. At least it's easy to clear and void fluids. There we go. Should be good now. That's fine. But yeah, we should definitely avoid making them too fast. That is fair. Okay, so now we need to do cracking, which I'm not entirely sure how we would do. But yeah, we'll figure that out. Not right now, but there were barks a minute or so ago. Okay, that tracks. That sounds like dog. Okay, well, we have something we can work with. Awesome. We're actually barely producing enough oil, which is a little bit weird, but I guess it's fine. And of course it's backed up because petroleum filled up, I think. Which is fine. Easy enough to fix. We could just have alarms. We could just manually clear things the whole run. That could work. Although I feel like that's a very lazy solution for no reason, so I probably shouldn't do that. We have 4. They're all very loud. They're all very loud dogs. Love them to death. They're very loud. So you can hear them like through the multiple walls. But 10 out of 10 dogs. Okay, obviously red chip build's pretty straightforward. Don't think there's any issue with this design. That should be fine to just use. They're all border collies. Or at least mostly border collie. Some of them have a couple others mixed in, but they're largely border collie. Okay, yeah, we can do blue science here. That should be fine. How much blue science per second does this build make, actually? I don't know. 1.5. That's fine. We can probably do with 1.5 and a buffer. That's the best in the middle of the night when you really need sleep. They're good at night. The only reason they would bark at night would be if something was wrong. So it's not too bad. Fortunately. Oh, you know what? I think this design for blue chips isn't good when I actually want engines, is it? I don't think I should do it like this. I mean, I can do it mostly like this. I just don't think I should do it completely like this. I'm also not getting enough steel for some reason. Oh. Wonder why we're not getting steel. Because we moved that to a different patch and forgot about it. I could technically get the coal from here. These all consume 0.81. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Honestly, yeah, let's do that. So this coal is definitely needs to be expanded because it is passed around everywhere. Did they eat everything? Not so much anymore. Like, obviously they'll eat any food that's left out, so that makes baking really hard. One of them has been getting into Christmas decorations. He was better last year, but I think now that he's more comfortable, since he's a new dog, or he was new to our house, I think now that he's a little bit more comfortable, he feels perfectly fine eating our Christmas ornaments. But aside from that, they don't really eat much. He grabs pillows and, like, brings them around and, like, snuggles them, but he doesn't eat them. So it's overall not a ton of eating. Aside from ornaments. And probably Christmas presents. we don't have anything under our tree for a reason right now. There's no real... This isn't awful, right? This will never get red chips. But I guess that's fine. This isn't running for some reason. Oh, right. Yeah. We'll figure out how to do the cracking later. Wait, is there a way to void fluids? I think I think there's something one time that mentioned that if you have two fluids going to a same spot, the one with higher volume would be voided. Don't know how that works, though. Your uncle had a border collie. It was speedy, and since they didn't give enough attention, it was bothering the horse until he absolutely bodied his leg. Oof. Yeah, ours get a lot of attention, but they're still just so high energy that around like the holidays they get antsy. Never like that, never like aggressively so. But they do start to go towards they do start to get a bit hyper just because it's harder to walk them during the winter. But yeah, that seems unpleasant. Does changing recipe clear fluids? I mean, you can also just click the button. But probably. Are you just saying I have a combinator that just cycles through and clears recipes? Because if so, that is a hilarious idea, and I love it. We should test it. Oh, we couldn't do it with solid fuel. We could do it with cracking, right? Yeah, we could do it with cracking. Okay, let's get a more accurate number. It's only connected to this one. That is 4, 5. 4, 5, 3, 5, 2. 3, 5, 2. Darn. It seems to go back to where it came from. Maybe if it was completely full, it would void it. So that gives us another option to test. Okay, so now this is absolutely full. Now what does it do with it? Okay. Okay. How do we switch a recipe every tick? This is so not worth it, but I love the idea of it. We would do fluid cracking. We need a combinator, right? Arithmetic? Yeah, I can never remember how to build a clock. A decider combinator, right? No, the other one? I just remembered he has a clock in him. This one uses both. But that wouldn't work with a recipe change. Actually, it might. No, the other one, input and output. Oh, it is decider. Wait, so I'm not sure what you meant by... I'm not sure what you meant then. By other one. Did I say arithmetic and then place a decider? Is that what happened? I could see that being what happened. This doesn't filter the signal though. How would I do that? Anything less than 1 output. Anything? I don't think that's how I do it. Maybe it is. Okay, that's set to set recipe. Factorio bin should be allowed. If it's through something else, I'll have to give you an allowance. You can count up the recipe if r equals 0. Oh, does it have like a list it goes through? Oh, that's not supposed to read contents. Is this a clock? Oh, thank God. Clock. Me fumbling around with circuits is never fun. Okay, this has both. And then, oh, you put 2 signals in. So that you reset on the C. What's this original one for? Oh gosh, this might be messy to set up on the fly. I'm not sure. Okay, can I just do... Does that do anything? No. No, I don't know why I thought that would do anything. I don't know what's different. Wire output of top combinator to Kim. Yeah, I figured how to... This one makes sense. Just wondering if there's a way to do it with less. Because this is a lot of signals to have to set. This just has T. Could I do it with a different signal, though? Because I think it doesn't need a different recipe. It just needs no recipe, right? So if we do oil cracking, Input oil cracking. Set oil cracking. Then we reset at 1. This might work. No, that doesn't work. I thought if you remove the signal... Or is this never removing the signal? Oh, that's never removing the signal. That's starting at 1. Oh, that never reaches 0. Darn. So we do need another one. Yeah, this never reaches 0. I thought it would reach 0. Bummer. Sad. Okay, so probably we'll have to do something with one more combinator. Okay, so this has both of these going in. Why is this on a... Why does this count higher? Oh, because that's the one that get Okay, so the recipe is a constant signal. Actually, if I do the recipe, is that better? I don't think it matters in this case, but maybe? I'm not sure if it would matter in this case. This probably isn't it. I probably can't save this. Can I subtract 1? Decider cracking less than 2, output cracking constant with input cracking signal. Decider less than 2. It doesn't seem to be changing though. Oh, but it is showing 0. Is it fluctuating too fast to see? Nah, it might not work. Can I put something else in it? Oh, that did actually send the whole thing. Less than 1, output 1. Okay, that's not working for... I thought I had that. I'll try again. See if I just wired it wrong, because that's always possible. Doesn't seem to be fluctuating. Oops, that's not right. Wrong button. Nah, it's not voiding it. Solid field. No, solid field get in the way. I switch cracking though. Can I output each? Is that a thing I can do? Anything, everything? Don't know why I thought that would help. Am I just building it wrong? If I just give it a normal combinator, does that win? I feel like there has to be a way. Wait, not light oil. I would want to do petroleum. Okay, I mean, it is changing the recipe, so I clearly didn't mess up that part. Can I... Oh, I wouldn't want to mess up with recipe finished. Wait, if I actually want to void a recipe, I guess this would be bad. Or if I want to use the oil, this would be bad. Oh wait, no, it only voids when full. Otherwise, it just goes back in. Can I do an each? I think that's just gonna choose one, right? This is this would be so fun to have. But the benefit of it is so small that if it takes more than like one or two combinators, I find it hard to justify it. Is basically what this boils down to. Okay, so this somehow filled up with water. So maybe it would be a good idea to do filter return. Yeah, this is completely backed up. Did I set the logic wrong? This is 80%, right? Yeah, that should be 80%. That's probably fine. It's easy enough to add a filter return pump. Maybe. Oh yeah, that actually seems totally fine. As a backup. Okay, we have options. Is it possible for both of these to have a fill and neither of them work? I don't think so. No, that shouldn't be the case. What if we do... Wait, hold up. When do... That's not how you spell selector. When do you unlock selector combinators? Ooh, these are pretty cheap. Hold up. I know what could work. I know how to do it in 2 combinators. Random. There we go. That, I think, is all we need. Okay, we'll turn it off. We'll make sure this is filled to the brim. Yeah, I didn't realize the selector combinators were 50 oil, because we will definitely have selector combinators by now unlocked, or we can if they're that cheap. If there's another solution, though, that also works. Oh, I need to use the same color. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's fluctuating. Oh, anyway, this is 550. If I connect this, it is now at 550. Does this actually work? I guess the real way to test is to see if this is outputting. Technically, yes. I don't know if it voids it fast enough, but oh my god, this is hilarious. It didn't save your blueprints, you lost all of them? There are some tricks to like get them back. So like I know they have some kind of backup folder that so you might be able to find them still. What a fun sane goal to reach. Yes, definitely a sane goal. Chat, why is this fine? Why isn't this the dumbest thing I've made? What's another thing? Is there anything on this menu I could use? No, but I could use plastic. How fast does it clear though? It doesn't clear very fast, which is the problem. I am so confused. How is that different? Like, it obviously works, but how is that one different? They look the same. What am I missing? Oh, it's literally... Okay, one of them's outputting 1, the other one's outputting input count. That's the only difference. Okay. Did you rotate your chem plant? You rotated your chem plant. It affects almost nothing, but it's just rotated in yours. You wanted a fresh start, so you didn't take any of your blueprints or save files into it. But you also have Factorial one save files with your blueprint books just in case. Yeah, that's understandable. I don't have any blueprints that I care about, so I didn't have anything to bring over. The biggest problem with Sushi pipes is that the throughput of the pump slows down as the fluid amount in the pipe goes down to 0. That's not... Ooh, you know what? Because this works by voiding anything that's above 1500, you have a good point. Like, this only voids it if it's at, like, the absolute peak. So that also is causing some issues. So combined with the Sushi pipe problem of the throughput slowing down, this doesn't work that well. App data roaming should be... You might have to reveal user settings or hidden folders on Windows, but it should be your local drive, users, your name, app data. Yeah, that probably also works. I always just navigate through because I keep it like quick access. But yeah, shortcuts also work. Especially you probably don't need to hide it that way. You can skip constant combat error with the sidearm on wired to itself. How do you prime the signal in that way though? Oh, because it's not outputting each. It's going to output itself, right? So you're saying I just do this and then do cracking. Well, for this case, we'll do plastic. Output plastic. Ooh. Okay, now we're talking. Now we're talking. I don't think we can use this, but I really want us to be able to use this. Is there another way I can void it? Like, what if I put it here? We are gonna make this work. For no reason at all, I want to make this work. These are on set recipe, good. Plastic. Plastic. Does it void faster like this? Oh, it doesn't void at all without a tank. This is so unfortunate. This was such a good idea, right? Maybe good's the wrong word. I just want a way to void fluids. Is this too much to ask? Does pump directly into plant work better? I didn't test that. Is that why you had it like that? Let's see. Oh, that's not right. All right. We have the logic. We need to practice setting it up anyway. So, don't include in crafting. Actually, it doesn't matter. Read contents was unnecessary, but I guess it doesn't make a difference. You know, it might. It might work better for some reason. Oh my god. Because that just gets completely voided by the pump. I'm sorry, this is so stupid. I love this so much. And what we could do, if we want to actually use the buffer, is have it wired. Oh wait, if we do it like this, we need to connect this differently, right? Yeah, this won't get petroleum frequently enough. We'll probably have to change it to look like that eventually. But I guess that's fine. Then we just swap this over. Since it voids so fast, we might be able to use one combinator for all of them, right? No, there's no input that would be the same for each of them. What prompts do you have if you wire the tank? Wiring the tank just adds the ability to read from the tank. Please tell me that the plastic decider is an RS latch. I don't know what that means. Maybe. So, someone else sent it to me. I love that. Okay. Does it work differently if I do this? Does that still void? Okay, so you do have to have it directly going into the tank for it to work. So you can't have any gap. It's not let the flickering begin. Okay, cool. So yeah, the only way this works is if you void it this way. So yeah, we can just void fluids with this. Actually, do I need the latch in this case? Or whatever the right word is. Probably, right? Or the recipe swapper. Okay. Okay, now we're talking. We still need lube. And we do actually need to use these fluids, so that is a problem. Well, we need to use some of the fluids. We don't need to use many of them. What we really need is a way to add a pump later with this setup. So I'm thinking we could just do something like... I'm trying to think what would fit between both of them. I mean, we could add a gap, actually. We can add a gap between these, and then this fits. Because it's really... The only thing that matters is that the pump goes directly into the tank, or the chem plant. It doesn't matter any more than that. So we can just add these, and we could add logic later. At this point, I don't think it's really better. I just think it's really funny. Which probably shouldn't be how I make decisions. But it's how I'm making this decision. Okay, there we go. This is a way to just keep this running full speed. Thanks so much for the help. This is really good. You don't have to move those light ones since you moved the combinator. Yeah, that's why I moved the combinator. Yeah, that's exactly why I moved that, so that way I have flexibility there. Because I wanted to be able to just stamp this anywhere. We'll figure out the exact spacing later, because it also depends how I'm going to use this. But yeah, it's simple enough to wire this to only run sometimes. It hurts to see, so you guess it's the right choice. Exactly. Just watch us lose so much time because we just tanked our performance with this one set of combinators. Cracking would be so much better. Okay, anyway, let's... Well, we were silly enough, right? Okay, now to do something a little less silly. Not completely unsilly, but less silly. We'll need 2 sulfur assemblers. Which would probably look like this, and they would output on the far side. That is perfect. And then maybe I'll do sulfuric acid here. That actually works really well. This might be fine. Yeah, no, that fits. That fits really well. Okay, well, I mean, I can't really not do it when it works so well. Oh my gosh, we could use this copper. We could use this copper for batteries. We could totally use the copper for batteries there. Now, this isn't running. This is not working safely. We do need to do the backup filter. It seems to work too inconsistently without it. Which is fine. We can live with that, but it's a little annoying. Okay. So that can go in a lot of spots. That has flexibility. Although it doesn't necessarily need to be because this has pretty good reference points. Oh, that's on the wrong side. Oops. This is going the wrong way. I completely misinterpreted what side that's supposed to be on. Is there a better way to flip it? I can move it farther to the left, and then I don't have to do a flip. Yep, no downside to that, actually. Legitimately no downside at all. I don't think, because I'm pretty sure it's still equally... okay, it is a little bit harder to connect the water now. Oh no, that was so difficult. Looking forward to oil failing hilarious, me redoing it. Nah, this is gonna be perfect. There's no flaws with this. It definitely doesn't run terribly. I mean, just look at these running full speed all the time because it runs so well. I think we will have to remove the sushi inputs. Because the thing is, the thing that's making it safe also makes it run really, really slowly. So I don't know exactly how to fix that. Oh, wait. Hold up. The issue might be a lot different than I thought. It might just be this straightforward. It could just be a genuine lack of oil. Okay, there we go. There we go. Now it's perfect. Okay, and then this is on the correct side now. Awesome. You know, it's not actually... The way that this is set up, it's not actually faster for us to use all red hands, which means we should build it one tile over and do red inserter outputs. Because we want the engines here, which means this goes here. Actually, you know what? I want to go here. Wait. Yes, I want that to go here. That's better. Okay. That way everything's nice and in line with each other. You know, because that matters, because we definitely need that production. We definitely need all we can get. But yeah, I think we do batteries here somehow. Maybe we can do local solid fuel. Oh, we could totally do local solid fuel to run a smelter. Yeah, we need to have some fun with it, right? But yeah, since we can't do all long inserters, I figured we might as well save it and then do it a little bit cheaper. Because we want the engines, so I can automate pumps. We might not necessarily need the engines. It might not be worth it. How many pumps do I realistically need? Probably like 20, right? I could probably get that just by just control clicking on it. It doesn't change the design that much, it just shifts it over a bit. But we'll keep that in mind as an option. Okay, and then brick lane can be completely split off now. Probably would do it with an inserter. Not like that, though. Yeah, that should be good. And then this continues through. Probably connect that first, so that way we can get the pumps. Oh my gosh, smart belt, I hate you. Oh my gosh, why is that not working? I don't think I've seen that bug before. What? What is causing that one? Smart belt, what are you doing? I've never seen it function like that with a normal belt before. There we go. Oh, yes. Oh, that's awful. Okay. You know what? This turn kind of sucks. I might add a tile to it. Also, we are voiding a lot of stuff. We really do need logic on these. But other than that, it works fine. glad you enjoyed my whatever chaos we did today. Have a good evening. I don't know. I really don't know if we need this. It's a lot easier to build if we don't do the regular inserters. But I also don't know if it matters much. Also, how do I get blue science out of here? Should this go the other way? This should definitely go the other way. This design is only really good if I'm looping the red chips. Because I can just have blue science go there. Okay, I see the benefit of it going this way. Because I would want to produce roboports here. Oh, you didn't realize what we were doing? you you didn't realize the point of that? Yeah, that is what it's for. If you have a pump going into a chem plant, apparently it just voids it when you change recipes. Whereas, like, originally it was set up to just void it when full, but that could only void at a rate of like 50 per ticks. 50 per tick. Look, it might not be useful, but we're having it there as a backup, okay? Oil is free. But also very, also fair. So yeah, that keeps it running. And then we'll add a pump to make it that it only does it when it has excess. Hold on, I need to, I need to take a blueprint of this real quick. This is fantastic. Okay, and then we'll do an infinity pipe here. With water going into a pump, and then we should be good. Okay, so read, activate, activate. Oil, less than 320. Water, less than over 2. That did not work. Okay, I'll just type 160, it's easier. That is not correct, but I guess that's fine, because that can't actually cause an issue in the real run. Oh, and we need read content, not including crafting. This is steam. Wait, how is it getting steam? What the heck? What? Why did it get steam? Where did that come from? This is not set properly, I don't think. This keeps backing up. This isn't working for some reason. Is that why? That might have been why. No? Okay. We'll do the filter. I can't get it to work safely without the filter. There's definitely a way, but I'm not entirely sure what it is. This might not work, though. Not entirely sure if the filter helps when you have an infinity pipe. It probably doesn't. Yeah, that's problematic. Just a little bit. I could make the buffer lower. For both of them, then it might still work fine. Yeah, a low buffer is probably okay. Nope, it immediately... Well, maybe. We'll see if this works. Export to string. I love this. Don't think it's worth it. We're gonna leave it. We'll plan our base around it. Okay, how do I get red chips out of this cleanly? I think the answer is I don't, right? I think the answer is I don't. We need to move it down a tile. But that's such an easy spacing to build. I mean, I could turn it, right? It's not awful to do this. And then Roboport production would be here. Roughly? No, not even roughly. Just exactly there. I don't know what we're doing with these red chips other than turning them into Roboports. So we can probably leave that there. And then this needs to be... We need a module assembler. We could do both modules here. Mostly it needs to be prods, though. Honestly, speed modules are not going to be a problem. Now that we don't need them for LDS, they're kind of just everywhere. Oh my gosh, my inventory keeps filling up. And now it's not. Now it's not filling up. I really need to actually add infinity filters. Like that would save so much time. Okay, prod module. Everything's okay. Oh, we should be good. Okay, that'll give us prod module production. Is there any way I can just shift this over one tile? Or shift this over one tile? There is, but it's going to require an underground somewhere. Like, I either need an underground here to go underneath this, and then I can shift this lane over, or I just do this annoying hook. I think we just do the annoying hook. That should be fine. And then we can filter out here if we really want to. I'm not entirely sure what we're going to do with these chips, but we have them. That does not cut across like I thought it would. Okay, let's do this way then. Yeah, we should be buffering the chips. I just don't know what we're going to use them for, but we will buffer them. And for now, they can just go into RoboPorts. We can use them for other things later, but since they need to like continuously run, the internal buffer isn't that important. It's just kind of there. Now we could cut across this, but I don't think that would be worth it. I think we just have to take an annoying turn and just go like this, and then down, and then back up, and then we're fine. And then we need to get military science on this somehow. Blue science has got to be on the far side. So yeah, we need to do a small military build just so we can start getting some important techs. This is so messy right here, but it's fine. It's pretty good summary of our entire base. We would need an output up there to make that work. I might stagger all of the red chips, and then things are a little nicer. Yeah, I think we'll end up shifting the blue science lane, because I don't think... Now that I've built it, I just don't think I really gain anything. Yeah, I'm going to say I don't really gain anything from this design, from being able to use the engines. Unless there's something I'm forgetting. Like, I mean, technically we'll need a car. Now we'll just do red. We'll do red. Makes it so much easier to build. I wanted it to be a little different, but considering we need a grand total of like 20 pumps, it's hard to justify making blue science this much slower for no reason. It wasn't really any more expensive though, it was just slower. And a little bit more annoying to build. So if we get engine assemblers, we just do basically the same thing, except now we can loop them. Oh, can that grab from that? Wait, that can totally grab from that. There we go. Wait, that doesn't have a buffer. The belts do nothing if they don't go into a belt. But that's fine, because now we have to shift these over anyway to here. That's a messy section. Can I change which side these output on? I think I can. I think it's worth it now. Now that we've shifted them, because if I output on the far side... See, does this fit here anymore? Don't know if this makes it nicer, though. Just makes it different. Actually, yeah, that makes it a lot... Never mind, that makes it a whole lot nicer. Okay, so that's totally fine. We don't need to worry about looping this or anything. So does this give us any freedom to clean up this? I could do this splitter in a different spot. I think that fixes it. Yeah, that fixes it. Okay, we can just do the splitter here. This is a very annoying loop to do, but it's not awful. There are worse things we could have done with that. Oh, but now we can't fit this. Oh, but now we don't need that to go there, so we'll probably be able to fit it. Because now this loop goes here. And then it goes down, we loop it up. Now this goes over, we give it a long inserter, and now we have RoboPort production. Perfect. Okay, and that's going to be uncapped, but that's totally fine. Okay, I think it's working now. We just need to actually connect it. So yeah, we tried to be different, but it didn't end up mattering. Okay, we'll remove that, we'll tessellate it, and it should be good. Okay, I think we can live with this now. Fairly happy with it. Yeah, it's so much less weird belt rotation. It's still a little weird. I still don't love that section. And then I think we can fit engines here. Now we do need a few more engines than normal. Or do we need less? We might need less. Because the thing is, there's more time for me to expand, and I don't need yellow science as much early, so I really just need engines for bots. And if I'm just doing engines for bots, I could probably do less, and then do an expansion later. It depends how bot limited I expect I'll be. But I definitely don't need more than like 6. Will this work? We need batteries still. Okay, I'm starting to think the dream of doing batteries here is dead. We'll see. We'll see if we can make this work. I think we need 4 batteries. Definitely can't go there. I could go here. And then that gives us space. I think that's okay. Is there a way to make this work? I really feel like there is. I don't know if it's worth it, but I feel like there's a way to get copper here. It's just not a good way. We can definitely do 3 batteries. I think we can make 3 batteries work. Oh, there's totally a way. There is totally a way. Yeah, there's 100% a way. Okay, I see the vision. This needs 0.75. This needs 2 assemblers worth. Or 2 furnaces worth. Wait, how many does that supply for frames? Our goal would be 16 frames, I think. So that would be 1.2 batteries per second. This is 0.75, so we do need speed modules to make this amount work if we don't buffer them. Is there anything stopping me from making it larger other than laziness? I guess this lane, but there are other ways I can get blue science. For example, I could do blue science here and just like cut it across, and then that gives me space for more batteries if I really want. But it does look like it needs 2 furnace assemblers total. Can I power this? Wait, can I run this with just drills? This might work. How do I get coal over here? Is there coal available? There is coal available, but it is annoying to get to. I could technically do this, which is fun. Don't think it's good, but it is an option. But yeah, we do we do have this possibility. I think it's funny. I don't think it's good, but I do think it's funny. Which counts for, well, really, realistically, it counts for nothing, but it is fun. But we would have to do something like this. That is so much more annoying to get over there than I thought it would be. Never mind, we're not doing that. We are not doing that. Can this go up a tile? What if I get the... What if I get the copper from the other side? That doesn't really work, though. But, like, right now, it's not that we've made, like... This is kind of tile perfect, but we do have a lot of flexibility. Honestly, the only thing that's really tile perfect is copper, and that actually can be moved a little bit. So as long as we use this as our reference point, everything else will be fine working around it. Like, this has enough leniency. This is far enough away from the iron that doesn't need to be perfect. This doesn't need to be perfect. That doesn't need to be perfect. This one, I think as long as we had it more centralized, it probably would be fine. But I don't think we have it central enough. We could go through and have copper on a different side, but I think we really just need to not do... I think we just need to not do copper like this. On the other hand, that's really easy to set up. How much does one stack of fuel last? Is that something I can consider? Can I just consider hand feeding it? Like one time? I mean, it would last me until bots. It's not an option. I could also steal coal from here very easily. Way more easily than I could do this. It would need a filter inserter. But it's not a terrible option. Yeah, I think we're going to go with that. I think we're just going to steal coal from here. We have a lot of stuff healing from the central coal lane. Yeah, well, we can make that work. Okay, now we have battery production. There we go. These are tightly together. These we should probably shift. No, they don't need to be shifted. Hopefully that gets enough sulfuric acid. I'm not entirely sure. It would be nice to have this run full speed without speed modules in it. But it's not strictly necessary. It's easy enough to get like 10 speed modules. Especially if we have this doing some recipe swapping. Because I could have this set the recipe based on demand. No, that wouldn't be worth it. It would be better to just do an extra assembler at that point. Like realistically, I should just do this. And then we'll just add a couple more onto the end. So that way once these back up, these red chips still run full speed and then we're happy again. We'll probably eventually want prod modules in the blue science. I don't think that's going to mess up any of the ratios. So that way we can expand it. So we'll plan for that. Because there's a good chance we won't need a blue science expansion after this. Especially if we have just swap all of these over to like yellow assemblers with prod modules at some point. That could basically fix it. So that produces 1.5. With a buffer system, that might be fine. Because we're planning for 2 science per second 3 hours later. I don't know, we might want slightly faster production this early. Okay, and then these obviously can just be direct fed. We should get enough green chips from this, but maybe not. But we'll see. I could need a buffer chest. We'll put one regardless. That would just go there. Wait. That doesn't work. That's on the wrong side. That's on the wrong side of the belt. Let's see. These need 2 inputs here. That would input... Let's go to the other side. Let's go like this. That should be fine. I don't think one of them is that much faster than the other. So now we can just do belts, belts, and then we can sideload them, and then we should be good. Oh, that is a little bit farther than I meant to do it. We need to figure out how to get lube over here too. I didn't really think that through. Relative 6. We need engine assemblers. We definitely need more expansions later. This is just to get us bots, and then we can, I guess, make things messier. That does not work. Oh, I don't like that. I want this to be on the other side of the belt. I think it's worth just doing a hook. I think that simplifies the build enough that it's worth it. Actually, that lines up perfectly. Yeah, there's no reason not to do that then. Okay, that should be fine. For some reason, I thought the hook was going to make it not line up. Okay, how do I get lube? I guess a chem plant here. That doesn't quite work. I mean, it technically works, but it's a little messy. I can move these tanks, actually. These tanks are kind of just in arbitrary spots. Actually, not just kind of. They are completely in arbitrary spots. So we can just move it. And then maybe it's better if I build it vertically instead. So that way this can fit flush. And basically we'll have this connected here, and then we remove that later once we start doing the mixing fluids, and then everything is okay. So now we can move the heavy oil. And again, we're going to flip it vertically because it seems a little bit nicer to fit in. We might have to do a slightly different pattern for this, but I don't think that's the end of the world. So I would want the output to be here. Yes. I plan to do the sushi pipe. It seems reasonable. Unironically, seems very useful. Okay, well that works. And then this voids it. And then this one would go here. It could technically go here. That won't cause any problems. But yeah, the best part is this, the oil voiding. So that way I don't have to worry about cracking heavy oil. It's a perfect plan. I think honestly, it's probably a terrible idea, but it's so fun. It's so fun. If this becomes the meta, I doubt it. You have to research combinators. And you can go so long with just tanks. So I don't really think I benefit from it much. It just is a little funny. So I like it. No, it is a flawless design. There is no problem with it. No puking here. This is fantastic. I wish I could make this a little better. You know, if I shift oil one tile to the right, all of my problems get fixed. Like, literally all of my problems with the layout there get fixed by just shifting it one tile. It doesn't cost really anything extra. And now, I can do this. And have a standard layout. Nope, that doesn't actually fix it, darn it. Yes, this uses combinators because it needs to void the recipe. No, this isn't tile perfect. When I say tile perfect, I mean reference to the patches. I don't care about it being... This part can be tile perfect relative to each other. This part should be perfect relative to each other. It's the patches that I don't want to be tile perfect too. Because references to your own base are really easy to figure out. References to the ore patches are kind of annoying to get used to. But this part's easy enough to tell at a glance. Oops. So that's the distinction there. Oh, there we go. That's how I make it work, I think. Does that work? Yeah, well, we'll fix the recipe later. I'm trying to figure out alignment right now. Is that all I needed to do? I think that's all I needed to do. Oh, that was the issue. Okay. I just don't want to have to do a rotation. This is nice though. Okay, now we fix the recipes. Input. Input. And then input. Input. Okay. Now it should be voiding again. It voids it so fast. We'll obviously have logic to only void when it's full, but still. This works for now. Actually, let's add that logic. Can I do an anything filter? Anything greater than 20k. That should work, right? That way I can copy the logic. This doesn't have the same stagger. Oh! Oh, I see what... Okay. The tanks are rotated differently. You can do plastic voiding with a piece of plastic on a 4-belt circle with reed on each belt. Why would I do that? I guess technically that does work, but I don't think that's faster if I already have to produce combinators anyway. Especially since voiding petroleum is the last one I need. This does void. Like, we can't do anything here, right? Oh, wait, do I have to click read from tanks? Okay, that's naturally the default. I mean, I guess this is a pattern. It's not quite, though. Tanks should look like that, because I don't want to have to rotate them. It doesn't use combinators. Yeah, but you can only do it for plastic, and if I already have combinators made, then I don't have to worry about that because it doesn't really save any time. Because the only thing I really need to void are these two, and if I have to set the logic for these, at that point I'll have a third combinator to just copy down here. So doing the belt setup isn't going to be faster in that situation. Yeah, I know the oil pump's not connected. I'm trying to figure out how I can get it to have the same pattern, and I don't think I can. Unless we do it this way? That goes 4 above. That could work. Because I want them to be the same. No, that doesn't work. Doesn't work. Wait, now it works. I don't know what's different. I don't know what's different now. Oh. Why does it fit now? Whatever. The important thing is it seems fine. Okay, now it's only voiding if this is full. Perfect. Okay, this is a great use of our time. It was fun at least, right? That's the important thing. Okay, now we need military science. Well, military science is for after boss, but we will need it at some point. Okay, this is still hand build, and now we can switch to more complicated builds that are actually entity efficient. So this should be a-okay. The real friends for the oil to be avoided along the way. Exactly. We can't abandon our friends, but also we're gonna abandon our friends because I don't care. They're dead. They're dead to me. Okay, we'll need Logibots automated, so it would actually be a good idea to automate them here, I think. We'll do a buffer chest, and then output into the circuits. Because, yeah, we can just do this. And then we can get Logibots and RoboFrames, and they both go into a... probably RoboPort to start with. One of the RoboFlame assemblers at the top are borked. Oh. Weird. So that has to do with build speed. Once you get far enough in the run and have like a couple lanes worth of iron, power is not an issue. Like the power difference between two is almost zero. So that literally doesn't matter. The main thing is it's significantly faster to build by hand, and space doesn't matter that much. So like if you can build something like twice as fast, taking up a little bit more space isn't a problem. And like I said, the power is basically zero. All the inserters cost effectively the same amount per swing. So like their consumption that's listed is very rarely relevant, and it's usually not. It's usually like a third of what it says. If you got to use one red one, might as well use two rather than having to switch, and it streamlines inserter production. Yeah, well, okay, so for this case, this is just me being a little lazy, but for here, it's basically just a 1-to-1 ratio of one inserter to one inserter. We're switching one yellow to one red. This one is just me straight up wasting it because I don't care that much. Yeah, it depends how far you are in the run. If your time is super optimized, it does kind of be worth it, get worth it to not waste like the one that you over drag, but you have to have a really, really fast time for that to matter, so you can usually ignore it. Extra space means you can getting more things later. True. Yeah, this would be for any percent. There's no way I could do default setting. Honestly, even any percent is a bit pushing my limits for how far I can run, or how long I can stream. Yeah, this obviously a lot of this is based around the old any percent base because that's just what I know. With a couple changes to like oil, how we did this section is a little different because I wanted it to be not as tile perfect, but obviously heavily influenced. Also, steel is different because it is a different seat. Steel had to go in a different spot, and then bricks can go directly onto the steel lane, which I actually quite like that. This is... I love this. It's so stupid. I can probably do with... I feel like I can do with 4. I'm going to go with 4. Well, that's in the future expansion. So, like, that stuff's going to be off the patch. So we'll have probably steel production up here, where we have iron and copper. So this probably will be space platform production. Then we can have some iron here, which is a little farther away than I would like, but we can use this for like LDS and purple science too. So it's not that difficult. We have plenty of resources. We also have this, which is honestly only a couple lanes. But yeah, that's not a huge concern. Probably, I could see it being over here. If we just did local production here with some local fuel, we could make an entire lane of steel and then belt that over. And that saves us a lot of belt. Because that would be five lanes of steel, right? It's 15 iron, 15 steel per second is 5 lanes, which is probably more than enough space platform. And I think we can get that out of this. So yeah, I imagine it's going to be over here. Oh yeah, this is... Yep, that is way larger than I thought. We can definitely fit all of the steel production here. Maybe steal a little bit of circuit production. It's going to be a little far away, but it's not going to be far enough to make a huge difference. And then these will need to be set to circuit conditions. This is not... Oh, wait, that is supposed to have an input. We'll worry about that later. That doesn't matter if this drains it completely, but we will need to have logic there at some point, because we will need to ship... I'm not entirely sure. I know it's more efficient to ship bots by shipping the parts instead of shipping the you know, built and assembled bots, but I don't think it's that much more efficient that I care. It's hard to say though. But it is technically more efficient to just ship the bots. And then we do need to switch over to a different science at some point. I don't know when I want to start doing... What is it? Yeah, I don't know when I want to start doing purple science or when I want to do space science, because I feel like I should do purple and yellow science first, because they get me other important things like stack size, beacons, stuff like that. I don't necessarily need to go straight for a large blue and purple build, though, because once I get the modules, which we will be researching Prod Mod 3, so we do actually need a little bit more Gleba science than I was accounting for. Now, we won't use efficiency 3s, we won't use speed 3s, quality 3s, no. You wonder if anyone has ever done a 120 long furnace stack with 4 extra inputs per lane side to accept the required ore? Hold on, I might still have something. Where did I save it? I made something really dumb, but I don't know what I saved it under. Gosh, my naming scheme is awful. Do I have the blueprint of it? Maybe I have the blueprint of it. Oof, I have no idea where would it be. It is a very large blueprint. Oh, there it is. There it is. So this is... this is an entirely stone furnace smelting lane that uses a green belt of inputs. So this is effectively what you're asking about, except I'm using the worst smelter I can get. I'm also using stack inserters. So I think this is a... I don't even know if this is a full steel belt. This might be a yellow belt. Let's see. Green chips, 2k per rocket. Fine plans, 150 per rocket. Crowbots, 50 per rocket. Yeah, it's more of like, do I care that much about saving rockets when resources are this plentiful? But yeah, this was a proof of concept. I wanted to know how long it was. Yeah, it's 46. And then you multiply that time, or it's 48 times 5, or sorry, 24 times 5 to get like one lane. But then you're doing a green belt, so that's another 4, and then you're doing stacks, so that's another 4. So it is 2,000 furnaces long to get 30. That was like 60 steel per second. But yeah, they do seem... I guess if I have to do other things as well, then it might be worth it. Yeah, that was a turbo input. That was a turbo input of ore. That's turbo with stack inserters. And it is very awful. It's not. No, unfortunately, I don't think we can justify that because of all the 4,000, because of the 2,000 stack inserters we need. Might be a little tricky to get in time. But yeah, I guess the decision for bots will probably come down to if I need to craft other stuff too. Like if I wanted to craft, say, a couple bulk inserters in space, shipping red chips is really nice. Because then I'll have green chips and I'll have red chips, so I can make bulk inserters from that. And then use the spares for bots. The inserters aren't the bottleneck, though. You have to use the stack inserters. Oh, do you think the stack... Yeah, you have to use the stack inserters, that way you can fill the belt fully. Otherwise, yeah, they would be rough. The new stack inserters. But yeah, that was... it was 4,000 furnaces, 2,000 for each half, though. it's a lot. 24 times 5 times 4 times 4 is a very large number. Also, when should I switch away from the labs? Because we do need a new lab build, which we have here. This is what I'm thinking we'll do for labs. Because this design is... It's a fair amount of beacons, but I think this will work well for transitioning from space, because this can't research up to space science. Well, okay. I can either choose military or I can choose space. Those are my options. And then I need to convert this to here, but I need to get a 7th science on here before we have biolabs, so I think we can just do this and then replace them later. Because this gets, all of these beacons are actually used by all of these labs. None of them are affected by nothing, so they average about 7 times speed. And it just has a nice upgrade route, so I think this is what we use. It's pretty straightforward to just do the connections. We could loop it if we really wanted to. I don't think I'll necessarily need it. Military, yeah, it's not that we need it that early. So I probably could save it until we reach Gleba. The thing is, I'm doing any percent, but I also want to get the achievement. So we can't churn off enemies as much as you would in an actual any percent run. So I do need military to destroy a demolisher at some point. Bullet damage probably isn't that necessary for like the first trip. I'll definitely need some damage upgrades by the time I reach the final transit. Yeah, that's true. I could just do like 5. Honestly, I could just do like 5 buffering into a chest, and that would probably produce enough. I really just need I just want the sub 40 hour one, this one. The other ones I don't care about this run. But this one I wanted to do. Is that enough for all sciences? This one? Yeah. So it has the 7 I would need to unlock biolabs, and then it gets upgraded to 11. So we have 10 here, 11 here. We don't have any spoilage output. We could easily add one, but we won't need it because we can make spoilage 10 times higher. But yeah, I'm just aiming for the 8-hour one, and peaceful mode disables that. We have to find a balance for how far we want biters to be. So once I have a rough estimate of my base size, we'll play with the starting area to get biters to be like right here. Because I obviously don't want to walk that far for biter eggs, but I also don't want to have to fight them. Volcanus, we have to fight a worm, which we can do with about 100 poison capsules. So that's partially why I want space science or military science early. We don't need a ton though. We just need like 100 early. So it could just be hand fed. I could just hand feed that. I'll need to do some tests with damage. I haven't really built the ships yet. Because if we play at 50% asteroid density, let's see, if we play at 50% asteroid density, we probably don't need as much damage, at least not early, especially since we can afford to just ship up iron. Because I imagine we'll just be shipping up iron and not relying entirely on the space platform. That changes things a little bit. But I think that'll depend on how I design the ships. Yeah, I like it. You can fit a lot more beacons as well. Like, I can double up the beacons. Or I can get a little bit more beacons, which helps when you get to the biolab phase, but I think it's pretty close to, like, its limit at that point. Because these should each be affected by... Oops. I'm in editor mode, or wasn't in editor mode. I think they should be each affected by 6, unless I miscounted. Oh my gosh, where's labs? Okay, I can never remember what they look like. Okay, so they're each affected by 8. So 8 versus 10 probably isn't a huge difference. We can find out that number though. Okay, so it's a difference of 18.4 versus 17. So if you do it like this, you need 1 more row of labs compared to not having it like that, which is totally fine. For your timing and your second space age run, you adjusted the initial science, this sort of intermediate setup when you left. I just designed this one today. It came to me last night, and I'm glad it works, because, like, I don't have the best memory when it comes to I don't have the best ability to visualize stuff. Like, strong aphantasia kind of vibe. So it makes it really hard for me to think of an idea and actually have it work, because a lot of times I just couldn't visualize it. But this one was successful. So sometimes it works. Yeah, if you want like a basic one, you can, if you do like the longhand inserter setup, it's also good for labs. Like, not only is it easy to build, I built that wrong. Imagine the underground belt was one tile over. You have an easy upgrade to convert it to 6 sciences as well, which is what the speedrun did. And if you really want to, you can loop some of the sciences, but that literally only matters for speedruns because you don't care about backup stuff. I could, that is another option if we need like an intermediate transition. It really comes down to where I care about the time saving. But we could feed our initial labs from the other side and get 8 that way, and then just go straight to biolabs. Both are pretty viable, I think. It is a little bit annoying to build that gap. I guess it's not awful. But yeah, we have a couple options, which is nice. We'll leave that just in case, because I imagine it would look like this. I could do that post bots. I mean, I would obviously do that post bots. It's not too bad. But yeah, this is another option. We'll leave this. We have 2 conversions options. I could honestly do both at the same time. It depends how much I care about prod 3s at this point as well. But it probably will be okay. Is that more annoying to build? I guess it's not that much more annoying to build. And then we also have this, which would probably come from the other side. Okay, and then military science would probably go here. Actually, can I do military anywhere? What do I need to get a small military setup? Because the main thing I want right now is I want to start buffering poison capsules. Because while they're not expensive, they're incredibly slow to build. Like really, really slow to build, I think. Yeah, 1 per 10 seconds isn't as bad as I thought. I thought they were a lot slower. Okay, never mind. That's fine. We can probably do that while we're on, after we set up biolabs. There's always the underground splitter trick to load 4 belts on one side. That doesn't work here, I don't think. Also, we already have access to 6 on one side. But I don't think the reach of this is long enough, is it? I guess it depends how I set it up. Actually, is the reach long enough? Okay, if I make this really annoying to build, I can do another, like, 8. But the underground splitter trick doesn't really help much if you already have long inserters. The splunger. So the main benefit of that would be to skip out on, or to be able to get like stack inserters or something, or fast inserters. Yeah, this is up to 8 sciences. Okay, so we'll leave both of them. Not sure where they'll go, but we'll leave them on the ground to figure it out. I think this is enough biolabs. I might do more. It's easy enough to do more. Eggs are really cheap. It takes, I think, each biolab costs like 10 bioflex or something. No, 0.4 bioflex per biolab. They're incredibly cheap. Like, it's stupidly cheap. Oh wait. Oh, never mind. They take captured rock rods. Like, sorry, 44.4 bioflex, which is still nothing. Because we'll be bringing back 1,000 bots. Not the right kind of bots. There we go. Yeah, not sure yet how we're gonna do these, but this should work. We would probably need to have these output into a red chest. I'm not entirely sure. Currently I'm thinking Gleba first. because I want the biolabs, but then I looked more at the research, and until we have all 3 sciences, there's actually nothing I would research that isn't that is from Fulgora. So if I just start buffering Fulgora Science and do a smaller Fulgora build, that might be easier, and then do Fulgora, Gleba, Volcanus. Because the thing is, you only need like 6,000 science from each of them. I don't really have a time. I want to be able to do it in a stream, is my only goal. It's more difficult to get 1k Bioflux through Biternest than it is to manufacture a biolab. Wait, what? I'm not sure what you mean by that. It's more difficult to get 1k Bioflux through Biternest than it is to manufacture a lab. Yeah, don't fall. It just dawned on you now preload. Yeah, you can preload them on the ships, and then you can just stamp them as you run and avoid belts. The benefit of that is very small. It seems very tedious to save like 20 belts. But I think like as times come down, that's probably going to be the optimal strat for any ships that you're not that you are manually flying. Yeah, currently our plan on Gleba is to have this built, and then we just gather about 400 of each fruit by hand, and then manually craft it into Bioflex. Or not manually, but throw it in a machine real quick to just get all the Bioflex we need, and then we head out. So we'll probably convert one of the egg assemblers for a little bit to get us the Bioflex we need. Probably while we're hunting down eggs, we'll have it producing bio. Or we could just, while we're hunting down the eggs... Actually, wait. We're not hunting down the eggs. We just kind of get them right away. But if we have to grab more, we can have it produce Bioflex. Oh, you mean to handle shipping? I don't know if that would work. Or I don't know if that would matter. You can preload like a silo with stuff into the inventory and blueprint that. But I'll be here, so I don't really need to preload it because I'm going to be on this planet when it happens. The main benefit would be like stamping down ammo while you're flying or something, I think. Or like preloading multiple silos. I'm not mechanically able to grind for like a good time, so that's not something I care about. I won't be able to do like competitive speedrunning again, I don't think. So I just want a time I'm happy with for the achievement, and then maybe a little bit lower. But it's never going to be a competitive time, so I'm not worried about that. Yeah, if I can get it in before anyone else, it's at least the world record for a little bit. But that's not really... I really just want to have fun. I wanted to do a largely custom base, although it is definitely influenced by other bases. But I think this is... Honestly, I just wanted to get to bots today. Are we missing anything? Like, is there any glaring issues? I don't think so. I think we have everything. The oil voiding is fantastic. I really like this. So we have sushi inputs, and then we have random recipe swapping, or not random recipe swapping, but we cycle through every tick and void the recipe. Void the fluids. Another option is to use a combinator and one selector combinator and set them all the same. At the rate I need to void, that probably would work. I think it would be the same cost. It would probably be the same setup. It would be a little faster to set up to use a constant combinator. It's something I can consider. I might do that instead. Because like having these separate, if the wire can reach, which it totally can, I can just have these all cycle through all the recipes over the course of every single tick. And considering how fast this voids at a rate of like, I think a few hundred per second. I haven't actually tested. Let's see how fast it voids. Yeah, let's see how fast it voids. Let's see, we need infinity pipe. We fill it with petroleum. It's full. Okay, it's 31-second mark. Okay, 20 seconds. Okay, I was at the 31-second mark. So in about a minute, it voids 20k. Or about 50 seconds, it voids 20k. So what is that, 400 per second? Or is it 40 per second? No, it should be like 400 per second, right? Do I need the pumps, or could you just put the voiders directly on the pipe? The reason that I have the pumps, the reason I have them on the tanks is because I want them to only void excess. I don't want them to like void stuff that should be going to rocket fuel. So the only reason the tanks are really there, is to make it that I actually get the resources I need out of it. Because otherwise you have to like double the amount of refineries. Because you're starting to void too much of it. But I think functionally that would work just as well. We just might have distribution issues. We could always test it. Would I even need the filters? Okay, let's test it. I am curious. We're going to save this, because I don't think there's any changes we really need to make here. This part's a little messy. If I could, like, shift part of my base over, it would be fine. But yeah, let's see how it works with it directly on it. And now, if we're doing it this way, then we can do the selector combinator mode. So we do a selector with a constant. Oh, wait, no. That would connect like that. Wait, why don't I just make a new one? It doesn't matter. There you go. And then we can select all the recipes here. So we just do plastic, heavy oil cracking, this oil cracking, random input. So now it should just randomly change once we power it. Why? Oh, it's paused. Okay, so now it can cycle through all of them. Let's see if this works. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, this doesn't work because it doesn't void fast enough, so you might need a bunch of chem plants to make it work. Yeah, you run into the issues with the transfer rate running really, really slow once it gets to the bottom. So it technically works, but probably works too slowly. Hello, Pi. Welcome, welcome. We'll probably wrap it up here. Yeah, I've been streaming a while. I need to wrap it up. What day is it? Is it Sunday? It is Sunday, right? Yeah, okay. So we're doing Rotten World tomorrow, where everything takes damage over time and everything spoils. Hopefully we can beat it. No, there's no shot we beat it. Hopefully we can get a sustainable bot production up and running. That's kind of the end goal, to know if we can beat it. Because if we can't get sustainable bots, we definitely aren't close to beating it. But we might be able to get bot production up tomorrow. Tuesday, I might do a separate meme run. I'm not sure, but I kind of want to do a special one. Well, a revisit of one that I've done before, but in 2.0. Just because I want to get a different footage of it for a video. But I didn't like the 1.1 footage, so I would rather just redo it. So we might do 2 meme runs today, or this week, or maybe more 80% designing on Tuesday. But that's it for me today. Hope you all have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.